Hello everybody, my name is James Elliott and I run Elliott Antique Clocks Limited, and I also run the eBay Shop Neurology Centre. And today I'd like to show you this extremely rare carriage clock by LEROY and CIE. Really, you don't see these coming up often, but they are so popular on the market and always make lots of money at auction. They're always very, very desirable. I guess it's the humpback style with the engine turn silver dial mask. It's these refinements of the 1900s that you get that you don't perhaps get on sort of earlier clocks. But it's just a wonderful thing. The design of the case is a classic. Going straight back to the days of Breguet, the humpback has always been a very sort of desirable type of case. Here we can see the wonderful LEROY movement. Absolutely fantastic quality. Fully signed there at the top with the LEROY's dress, which is also matching on the dial. It's all numbered throughout to the case, to the movement, which all correspond. We've got a little alarm dial here. They sometimes put them on the back, I think, really to save the aesthetics of the dial, perhaps, because they didn't want it sort of looking over complicated. The door closes nicely, hinges, nice and tight. It's not flopping around at all. You've got all these wonderful mouldings. It's such a simple, classic design on these bun feet. This lovely engine turn dial. With the polished chapter ring and polished areas for the signature. There's a bit of tarnish around the edges. I didn't want the thing, highly restored. So what I did was I had my dial restorer just touching the numerals and took away some of the tarnish around the chapter ring. And I didn't want to go too crazy on it because it's its original finish, and if you try and clean it too enthusiastically, you're going to really ruin the dial. So I think we've found a wonderful happy medium there. It's a Petite Sonnerie. There we can see at the bottom. Then we see it's got the mark for the patent, for LEROY's patent. So this was his design. They're again numbered, secured with these lovely big fixing screws. It really is a lovely quality thing. Let's hear the clock strike. Sounds wonderful, it really does. It's got a very nice mellow tone to it. It measures 13 centimetres tall without the handle, and with the handle 17.5 centimetres. Again, as the movement is signed, so is the dial. LEROY and CIE, along with their address and Paris. Let's have a look at the clock in some more detail from above. There's no real marks or anything like that to really point out to you, other than a slight bit of tarnishing around the dial, which is, expected on a silver dial. The condition is absolutely cracking. So let's turn the hands and we can hear the clock strike, and also let's set the alarm dial and give it some power, and then we can hear it striking. So here we've got the arrow on this lovely silver dial. Again, I've had this dial restored. That's all been, that had to be resilvered, and the numerals had to be redone because that was completely shot, unfortunately. But my dial restore has done an absolutely amazing job. Let's get a close up and have a look at how well that's been done. There we see the number just under the hands, which corresponds with the number we saw at the base of the clock. Get a bit of a close up on that signature too. And we can hear how healthy that escapement is running. Again, original escapement, nothing but the best. So we were setting the alarm dial, let's set it at 3. Put a bit of power on there. Let's turn the clock around. I can always find the alarm set on a carriage clock, but this being slightly, I mean it is a carriage clock, but you know what I mean, the normal sort of carriage clock, it's not anything of what you sort of normally see. I can find the handset without actually having to look at the back, but not on this one. So up to the hour. Forgot about the alarm. They did a series of these clocks. Some were just sort of hour strikers, sorry. Some had calendars. This would have been the sort of the mid-range version of the clock, with having the Petite Sonnerie. The ones with the calendars, there was one that sold at Christie's, I think a few years ago, and it sold for over £12,000. It gives you some idea of how desirable these clocks are. I mean, yes, obviously this one doesn't have the calendar work, but you know, the difference is, you know, more in the style of the clock, as well as the calendar work. I love the frame, the way it's been moulded with these different layers. It's just a really, really simple design, but very, very luxurious, very, very stylish. Original gilt hands. There's nothing on this clock that isn't original. As I've mentioned in other videos, I never buy anything that isn't original. You know, I want my customers to keep coming back, and the only way to do that is to keep them satisfied. Actually, I told you a small lie there. There is a replacement, which is the strike side mainspring, which had to be replaced because that was really, really badly worn. But if I kept it as original, you would have never got the time duration, so the strike would have given up after, say, 2-3 days. So now it's got a brand new fresh mainspring in there. It will run the complete week. Maybe a little bit less if you keep pressing the repeat button, but pretty well there. So really, really fantastic clock. First one I've had in stock. Been trying to buy one of these for ages, but you rarely see them come up at auction. When they do, they go for ridiculous amounts of money because the collectors are always after them and sort of leaving the dealers not being able to buy them. And also, if you did some research on the web, you'd find, you know, you wouldn't find many of them. You won't find many examples for sale, if any. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video on my wonderful LEROY Humpback Petite Sonnerie. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and please subscribe on YouTube. and bye for now.